What if from today nothing and nobody could control your emotions ever again? Imagine living your life where no insult cuts deep, no rejection breaks you, and no betrayal steals your peace. Think about it. How many times have you let someone's words ruin your day? How often have you replayed a moment in your head wishing you had reacted differently? We've all been there. We've all felt the weight of emotions dragging us down, making us weaker in the eyes of others. But here's the truth. That weakness ends the moment you decide it does. This video isn't about becoming cold or losing your humanity. It's about becoming unshakable. Machiavelli taught that true power comes from mastering yourself first. When you control your emotions, no one can push your buttons. No one can make you dance to their tune, and no one can take away your inner strength. In the next few minutes, I'll show you 8 powerful lessons that will help you build an emotional fortress inside yourself. You'll learn how to stop reacting, how to think with clarity instead of impulse, and how to carry yourself in a way that makes you impossible to control. But first, I want you to commit right now. Drop this in the comments to claim your power. I am stronger than any emotion. Say it. Own it. Because the moment you do, you've already taken your first step to becoming untouchable. Number 1. Destroy emotional vulnerability. Let's be real for a moment. The reason most people suffer in life is not because of money or status or opportunities. It's because they can't control their emotions. They get offended too quickly. They get sad too easily. They get angry too fast. And every time that happens, they hand over their power to someone else. Think about it. When someone insults you and you explode in anger, who's really in control? Not you. The other person just pulled your strings like a puppet. When someone ignores you and you feel worthless for days, who's in control? Again, not you, they are. This is what I call emotional vulnerability. The weakness of letting your feelings be owned by others. And here's the harsh truth. People will use it against you. They will test your patience. They will try to trigger you. And the moment you act, they win. Machiavelli understood this centuries ago. He said how he who wishes to be obeyed must know how to command. And how can you command others if you can't even command yourself? The first step to true freedom is mastering your reactions. That means training yourself to pause before you respond. When someone disrespects you, don't give them the satisfaction of seeing you lose control. When life throws a challenge at you, don't cry about how unfair it is. Stand firm. This doesn't mean you kill your emotions. Emotions are part of being human, but you must learn to rule them, not be ruled by them. Think of your emotions like fire. In control, fire can warm your home, cook your food, give you light. Out of control, fire can burn your entire life down. Start practicing small. The next time someone says something annoying, don't react immediately. Breathe. Hold your silence. Let them wonder what's going on in your head. That mystery gives you power. The calmer you remain, the stronger you appear. Because here's the secret. The world respects control. People trust leaders who can stay calm in chaos. And the person who can't be shaken emotionally, that person becomes untouchable. So today, make a promise to yourself. Never hand your emotions to anyone again. No one deserves that power except you. Say this with me right now. I am the master of my feelings, not their slave. Write it in the comments. Repeat it until it becomes your truth. Because the moment you destroy emotional vulnerability, you stop being controlled and you start becoming unstoppable. Number 2. Think like Machiavelli. Strategy over emotion. Most people live their lives reacting. Someone offends them. They get angry. Someone praises them. They feel on top of the world. Someone ignores them. They feel small. This constant emotional swing is what keeps people weak, predictable, and easy to manipulate. But here's the truth. If you want to win in life, you can't live like a reactor. You must live like a strategist. A strategist doesn't move on feelings. A strategist moves on calculation. And this is exactly how Machiavelli thought. He once said, "The wise man does at once what the fool does finally." What does that mean? It means that the wise man sees the game for what it's and makes the smart move quickly. Fool, blinded by emotion, wastes time reacting, complaining, or chasing temporary feelings. Think about it in your own life. How many times have you made a bad decision because you acted while angry, jealous, or desperate? Maybe you sent that angry text you later regretted. Maybe you quit too early because you felt discouraged. Maybe you trusted someone because you felt good in the moment only to be betrayed later. That's the cost of living by emotion. But when you think like Machiavelli, you stop asking, "How do I feel right now?" Instead you ask, "What's the smart move here?" Let me give you an example. Imagine someone tries to insult you in front of others. If you explode in anger, you look weak and childish. If you laugh it off and stay calm, you've already won. Why? Because you kept control and now everyone sees you as stronger. That's strategy over emotion. Another example, relationships. Many people let emotions blind them. They ignore red flags because they feel good. But the strategist sees beyond words and feelings. He looks at motives, patterns, and actions. He knows that what people say is one thing, but what they do is the truth. To live like this, you must train your mind to step back. Every time you feel a strong emotion, pause. Ask yourself, if I react right now, who benefits? If I stay calm and think, what's my advantage? That simple pause is the difference between being played and playing the game. This doesn't make you heartless. It makes you powerful. Because while everyone else is drowning in their feelings, you're seeing the bigger picture. You're 3 steps ahead. Calm, sharp, and untouchable. So remember this. Strategy will take you further than emotion ever could. Say this with me right now. I see the game clearly and play it smart. Type it in the comments, own it. Because when you choose strategy over emotion, you stop being a pawn and you start becoming the player who controls the board. Number 3, build mental autonomy. Detach from external validation. One of the most common traps in life is needing other people's approval. Most people don't even realize how much they depend on it. They post something online and their mood depends on likes and comments. They wear something new and they wait for compliments to feel good. They make decisions, but deep down they're asking themselves, what will people think of me? This is not freedom. This is slavery. Because if your self-worth depends on someone else's words, then you've already given them the keys to your mind. Machiavelli understood this truth clearly. He once said, "Men judge generally more by the eye than by the hand." What he meant is simple. People usually judge by appearances, not by real substance. If you live your life based on their judgment, you'll always be chasing shadows instead of building real strength. Think about it. People's opinions change all the time. Today they love you. Tomorrow they hate you. Today you're a hero. Tomorrow you're a villain. If your sense of self rises and falls with those opinions, you'll never be stable. You'll always be controlled by forces outside yourself. So what's the solution? Build mental autonomy. Autonomy means self-rule. It means your value doesn't come from outside. It comes from inside. When you detach from external validation, you become solid, unshakable, and free. Here's how you start. First, notice when you crave approval. Ask yourself, if no one clapped for me, would I still feel proud of this? If the answer is no, then you're not living for yourself. You're living for an audience. Second, start giving yourself the validation you usually expect from others. Instead of waiting for praise, tell yourself directly, I did well. I'm proud of me. It may feel strange at first, but this is how you reprogram your mind to stop depending on others. Third, realize that the people whose approval you chase are often too busy worrying about their own lives. They don't think about you as much as you think they do, so why give them so much power over your emotions? When you no longer need external validation, you become dangerous in the best way. People can't control you with praise or crush you with criticism. You stand firm in who you are, independent and unshakable. Say this affirmation right now. My value is mine alone, independent and unshakable. Write it in the comments, let it sink into your mind. Because once you master this truth, nothing outside of you can decide your worth again. Number 4. Eliminate personal weaknesses that give away power. Sometimes it's not the big mistakes that make us lose power. It's the small everyday habits, things we think are harmless, like over-explaining, oversharing, or showing too much emotion in the wrong place. But here's the truth. Every time you do these things, you give away a piece of your power. Think about it. When someone questions you and you rush to explain yourself again and again, what message do you send? You send the message that you're guilty, insecure, or desperate for their understanding. A strong person doesn't need to over-explain. A strong person states their point once calmly and moves on or consider oversharing. Many people think being open means being respected, but in reality, when you reveal too much of your personal life, your fears, your secrets, your struggles, you give others ammunition. Some may use that information to control you, manipulate you, or simply lose respect for you. Machiavelli captured this truth in a sharp way when he said, "It is double pleasure to deceive the deceiver." What he meant is people love exploiting weaknesses, especially if you've been foolish enough to hand them the weapon. When you expose too much of yourself, you invite deception and betrayal. Let's be honest, most people don't deserve full access to your emotions, your thoughts, or your private life. Only a select few, the ones who've earned your deepest trust, should be allowed in. Everyone else should see only what you choose to show. Control the narrative. Protect your inner world like a fortress. So how do you eliminate these weaknesses? First, practice speaking less. Not every silence needs to be filled with explanations. Let your words carry weight by choosing them carefully. Second, control your emotional leaks. You don't need to share your every frustration, sadness, or anger. Learn to process your emotions privately instead of handing them out like free samples. And third, set boundaries with yourself. Before you speak, ask, does this strengthen me, or does this expose me? If it exposes you, hold it back. When you master this, something powerful happens. People can no longer read you easily. They can't predict your moves. They can't manipulate your emotions, and they can't use your words against you. You become mysterious, controlled, and untouchable. Now I want you to drop this affirmation in the comments. I guard my power like a fortress. Make it your daily reminder. Because power is not only about what you show, it's also about what you protect. Number 5. Use silence and calm as your weapons. Silence is not weakness. Calm is not a lack of power. In fact, silence and calm are two of the most effective weapons you will ever have. Most people don't realize this because they are addicted to reacting. They feel the need to respond to every insult, defend against every attack, and speak in every pause. But the truth is, the one who controls their silence controls the entire room. Think about the last time someone tried to provoke you. Maybe they raised their voice, insulted you, or tried to drag you into an argument. If you responded with anger, you gave them what they wanted, your energy. But if you stayed calm, looked at them without flinching, and stayed silent, suddenly the power shifted. They expected a fight. Instead, they got nothing. That nothing makes them uncomfortable, and discomfort makes them weak. Machiavelli understood this balance perfectly when he said the lion cannot protect himself from traps and the fox cannot defend himself from wolves. The lesson is clear. Sometimes strength is not about roaring like alien, but about waiting, observing and striking at the right time like a fox. Silence is strategy. Calmness is control. Silence does 3 things for you. 1, it protects you. You don't reveal your emotions or intentions too quickly. 2, it confuses others. People expect reaction. When you give none, they lose balance. And 3, it creates respect. Those who stay calm under pressure look stronger than those who panic. When you master silence, people start to think twice before testing you. When you master calm, you show the world that no situation can shake you. And in a world full of noise, the person who can stay quiet becomes the most powerful voice in the room. But silence doesn't mean doing nothing. It means choosing your moment. It means listening carefully, reading the situation, and waiting until your words or actions will have the greatest impact. That's real control. So the next time someone tries to pull you into drama, remember your silence is not weakness. It is your shield. Your calm is not emptiness. It is your fortress. And the one who stays calm when others lose control always wins in the end. Say this affirmation with me. My silence is my shield. Type it in the comments and carry it with you. Because once you understand the power of silence and calm, no one can easily provoke you again. Number 6. See people's true nature, not their masks. Most people show you a mask, not their real face. They speak sweet words, smile when they need something, and act loyal as long as it benefits them. But behind every smile there is often an intention. Behind every promise there is often a hidden plan. If you want to be untouchable, you must stop judging people by what they say and start judging them by what they do. Machiavelli explained it best when he said, "Everyone sees what you appear to be. Few experience what you really are." People are masters of appearance. They build an image, a mask to impress or to control. But the wise man looks deeper. He pays attention to patterns, actions, and choices, not just words. Think about it. A friend may say, "I'll always be there for you." But when you actually need them, they disappear. A colleague may praise your work in front of you, but secretly try to take credit when you're not around. The truth of who they are is not in their words, it's in their behavior. The key is observation. Don't rush to trust just because someone says the right thing. Watch them over time. See how they treat others. See how they behave when things don't benefit them. Notice if their actions match their promises. This is how you see thorough person. Masks are everywhere. Social media is full of them. People showing a perfect life while hiding their struggles. Workplaces are full of them. Fake smiles, fake compliments, fake respect. Even in personal relationships, masks appear when people want control, attention, or advantage. But if you can train yourself to see past the surface, no one can fool you. The advantage of seeing people's true nature is freedom. You won't fall for fake love. You won't be shocked by betrayal. You won't depend on illusions, instead you'll deal with reality. And reality, no matter how dark, is always safer than living in a lie. So how do you do this? Simple. 1. Listen less, watch more. 2. Study patterns, not promises. And 3. Remember that consistency reveals character. Once you see the truth, you cannot be deceived. And once you stop believing in masks, people lose their power to manipulate you. Repeat this affirmation with me. I see through the mask to the truth. Type it in the comments and let it sink into your mind, because when you start seeing people's true nature, you take back your power, and no mask in the world can hide from your vision. Number 7. Beware of trust and emotional dependency. Trust is a beautiful word, but in the wrong hands it's a weapon. Most people tell you just trust me, but those words are often used to lower your guard. When you trust blindly, you give away your power. You hand someone the keys to your emotions, your secrets, and sometimes even your future. Machiavelli warned us about this when he said, "The promise given was a necessity of the past. The word broken is a necessity of the present." People change when their interest changes. The danger is not only in trusting others but in becoming emotionally dependent on them. When you rely too much on someone for happiness, validation, or guidance, you give them control over your life. They can lift you up with a compliment or destroy you with silence. You become a puppet without realizing it. And in the game of power, dependency is weakness. Think of it like this. The one you depend on becomes your master. If you can't walk away from someone without losing yourself, you are not in control. They are. This is why betrayal feels so painful. It's not only about what the person did, it's about the power you knowingly gave them. The smarter movies balance. You can connect with people, but don't let your emotional stability depend on them. You can care, but don't attach your identity to them. Always keep a part of yourself untouchable. This way, no matter who stays or who leaves, you remain whole. Practical steps. 1. Don't overshare. Keep parts of your life private. 2. Notice how people handle your trust in small things before giving them big things. And 3. Build your own foundation, your self-respect, your self-control, your goals, so you don't rely on anyone for stability. Trust is not about blind faith. It's about measured risk. Give it slowly. Test it constantly and never put your entire soul in someone else's hands. Machiavelli understood human nature. People act in their own interest first. If you forget this, you'll be disappointed again and again. Say this affirmation with me. I give trust carefully and I never depend on anyone fully. Type it in the comments. Let it remind you every day, because the less you depend on others, the harder it is for anyone to break you. That's true power. Number 8. Master yourself to master your world. Every great empire starts with one thing: control. Not control over others, not control over the world, but control over the self. If you cannot master your own mind, Emotions and habits, you will always be a prisoner, even if no one is holding the chains. Machiavelli wrote, "The one who adapts his policy to the times prospers." What does that mean for you? It means the strongest person isn't the one who shouts the loudest or looks the toast. It's the one who can adapt, control, and discipline himself no matter what storm comes. Think about it. The world will always test you. People will insult you. Life will throw setbacks at you. If you are weak inside, you'll collapse under pressure. But if you train your mind to stay calm, if you train your body to handle discomfort, and if you discipline yourself when others lose control, you win. You don't just survive, you dominate. Mastering yourself means 3 key things. 1. Control your emotions. Don't let anger, jealousy, or fear drive your choices. When you let emotions lead, you lose clarity. Imagine someone insults you at work. If you explode in anger, you look weak. If you stay calm, you keep the upper hand. Silence becomes power. 2. Discipline your habits. Power doesn't come overnight. It comes from small daily acts of discipline. Waking up early, finishing what you start, training your body, sharpening your mind. These are the bricks that build your fortress. Weak men let their impulses rule them. Strong men rule their impulses. 3. Strengthen your independence. Don't let your happiness depend on approval, attention, or rewards from others. The moment you rely on the outside world for peace, you become fragile. Build your value from within. When you know who you are, nobody can shake you. Here's the truth. If you can't control yourself, someone else will. A boss, a lover, a friend, even strangers. They will sense your weakness and use it. But when you have self-mastery, you flip the game. People respect you because they can't bend you. They admire you because you don't break. Imagine yourself as the ruler of an inner kingdom. Your thoughts are your citizens. Your emotions are your soldiers, and your habits are your laws. If your kingdom is in chaos, how can you ever control anything outside? But if your kingdom is strong, ordered, and disciplined, then nothing and nobody can shake your throne. You've seen it. You've learned it. Power doesn't come from noise, drama, or approval. True power comes from the mind, the heart, and the choices you make when nobody is watching. Remember this. No one can touch you if you don't let them. No words can break you if you control your reactions. No betrayal can shake you if you rely only on yourself. Every step you take towards self-mastery, emotional control, and strategic thinking builds a fortress no one can penetrate. Life will always throw tests at you. People will try to manipulate you, disappoint you, or provoke you. That's inevitable. But there's the difference. The untouchable man sees the world clearly, feels without being controlled, and acts without fear. He doesn't chase power. He becomes it. Machiavelli said it best. Men shrink less from offending one who makes them fear than one who makes them hope. People respect strength, control, and clarity. When you stop giving them leverage over your mind, when you stop handing over your peace for their opinion, you rise above them all. So start today. Commit to yourself, protect your emotions, strengthen your mind, study people, anticipate motives, and act with intention. Build your inner fortress like your life depends on it, because in truth it does. Drop your favorite affirmation in the comments. Say it out loud. Let it echo in your mind until it becomes part of who you are. I am stronger than any emotion. I see the truth. I rule my world. Like, share, and subscribe if this video gave you clarity, power, or courage. Carry these lessons forward, because once you master yourself, nothing outside can ever affect you again. Walk out of this video untouchable, silent, calm, powerful, and remember, your legacy starts with control over yourself. Nothing and nobody will ever shake that again.